Conan, the Book of Exile, Chapter 1, Mercy. Sand. It's all I can see through the slit of my eyelids before scorching sun forces them close again. What? As I gather bits of my sanity, I feel pain from all over my body letting me know about its presence. My head feels like it's going to split open any moment now. My skin burns in the heat of the sun. My hands, as I try to move them, sharp pain makes me instantly give up and freeze in my place. I force my eyes open. As the realization hits me, I feel panic rising from within. I'm crucified. The stress rises my pulse, and the pain echoes in my limbs with every heartbeat. What's going on? What is this? I look around, but all I can see is large sand dunes for as far as my sight reaches. My mind is blurred. Million urgent feelings bursting through my head, intensifying the pain. I try to scream for help, but my throat is dry and I barely make a sound. A sound that quickly gets lost in the song of the vultures circling above my soon-to-be dead body. Every thought mixes together with a fear for my life, confusion, and pain. The world is getting darker. I'm losing consciousness. Wake up.
During the year of the Cobra, a prisoner captured by unknown means was transported into the exiled lands, crucified and left to die for crimes that they may or may not have committed. Death comes swiftly on black wings, until fate intervenes.
Thirsty, dead woman. Shall I cut you down from that corpse tree? It might kill you. You civilized women are soft. Your lives are not nailed to your spines. Where I come from, we kill our enemies in battle. We don't leave them in the desert to die like dogs. So, you live again, dead woman. This land does not love men. You are marked. Cross the ghost fence wearing that. It might have been kinder to leave you on the cross. Live. Love. Burn with life. Slay and survive. We will meet again, dead woman.
I raise my head from a pile of sand. The sun is back up, scorching as ever. This isn't a dream. As I breathe in, I start coughing uncontrollably. Seems like the sand got in everywhere, oppressing my body. Sand in my throat scratched and stinged as I tried to get it out. Every cough echoed in my every part, hurting. Sand also got into my wounds from across, sticking to the now dried blood and creating a painful gap. That and the heat of the desert sand made it too painful to walk. I crawled forward without any clear goal, hoping to just wake up suddenly back home. Across the small opening, I see a massive ruin spreading, partially buried in the sand. Large buildings on both sides of the ancient road, laid with large black bricks. And bodies. I see skeletons on pikes, other crucified victims. Feels so surreal. If I wasn't saved back then, A large tablet, carved from and framed in the smooth black stone, welcomes me in the front of the road. As I approach, carvings begin to glow, as does my bracelet. I haven't had any better look at that bracelet before. It's pretty sturdy and massive for its weight. Resembles a golden snake wrapped around my wrist and holding a green stone that now glows as I get closer to the tablet. Maybe if I touch the tablet with it. As I do that, a strong alien voice echoes in my head.
Behold, bonded one, the very boundaries of civilization. Beyond the passage of our highways lie the wild places of the world, where untamed savages make endless war upon each other. You cannot pass into the endless wastes enslaved. Your bonding prevents it. Return. Follow the road. Any road. All roads lead to the city.
As I waited for the voice to finally end, I sit up and look around. A rock with something on it catches my sight. It's an item of some kind. It's nearby. I could reach it. Just need to reach. I crawl towards the item and can identify it now. It looks like a flask. I reach for it, grabbing it greedily and immediately gulp some of its contents down. I don't think much about how hygienic that is, and if the contents are even safe. Tastes a bit like sand and blood, but hopefully it's just me. Gathering whatever strength I had left to lift myself from the sand, I notice a piece of paper lying there where the water skin used to be. It's clearly battered. Looks like a note scrambled on a piece of an old papyrus. Would love to read it, but a bit extra liquid brought some of my thoughts together. I shouldn't stand around in a heat like this. If I could hide in the ruins nearby, I could wait the heat out and keep going in the sunset. Would also give me a bit of time to rest, come to senses. As I walk the broken highway, my mind wanders. Massive pillars built out of strong chiseled black stone surround the edges of a road. Material I didn't even know existing. It seems strong and durable, withstanding the constant trial by sand. The tiles of that stone I walk on seem to be a bit cooler than regular sand too. Colossal statue of a creature guards an arch to the nearest ruin. It's just as alien. The creature has jagged, snapping turtle mouth, no eyes, and 2 pairs of upper limbs. But it stands vertically, like a human, and wears robes and some kind of multi-tire crown. Is this whose voice I heard in the tablet? They called me the bonded one. So am I a slave? As I approach the statue to enter the ruin, I'm mesmerized by it and stay completely oblivious of my surroundings. As I walk past something that looks like a giant stone, I notice it makes strange chomping noises. That something starts moving in my peripheral vision, but it's too late to notice when I do. A giant monster turns around looking at me with its bottomless eyes, and spreading its big bat-like wings, it lets out a screech that resembles 100 burning souls from the deepest pits of hell. Terrified, I let out a scream myself, unable to do anything else. Because of that, or perhaps by the sheer luck, creature takes off and flies into the sky, leaving alone whatever it was munching on. After I recover from the shock, I step closer to see. The remains seemed to be human, according to the clothes. They're all teared up and bloody, nothing I could use. Guts spread across the gruesome scene. I feel sick, but before I'd run to vomit out my insides, I notice a leather-bound journal on the ground. I pick it up, but it won't take my time to read here. What if the creature returns? I pick up the speed, running towards the ruin behind the statue. climbing into the tightest corner I could find and collapse on the ground, hugging my knees. What is this place? How I got here? And why? My thoughts are racing as panic is taking hold of me again. I just wake up, just like that. I need to pinch myself and As I try to pinch myself, a wound in my hand opens and sends excruciating sensation through my entire body. I gasp, wincing. In the shadow of a ruin, I lay on the ground, holding my sore hand. Okay, what is the last thing I remember? I was at home, going to sleep, scrolling through my newsfeed as usual, until I got hungry. I set an alarm, plugged the charger, and went to the kitchen to check the fridge. It's not helping. Nothing I remember gets me any closer to finding out how I got here. And more yet, how to get back out. In frustration, I sit up and empty the last of my water skin. I feel more and more conscious. But as my sanity raises, the level of anxiety raises with it. What am I actually waiting for here? What if there isn't water anywhere and I'm simply prolonging my painful death? What if the creature gets back with the dark and brings more of its kind? I only have options between dying painfully but peacefully from dehydration, or becoming a feast for a monster, like that poor fella outside. But yes, outside. I remember the journal and the note I collected, and decide to take comfort in trying to read. This might contain information on how to get out of here. The journal is messy. I can barely make out the words. The last entry makes my hands shake.
Gods curse this sandstorm. We were forced to take refuge before the wind scoured the skin from our faces. There is something in the storm. Beasts. We hear the skittering of their paws outside the ruins, and their howls mingled with the screaming winds. The men are scared. I've put them to work crafting rudimentary weapons and torches from the loose stones and rough plants that dot this place. I've yet to meet a beast that liked fire, or the bite of the axe.
Great. The monsters might indeed come back. Maybe I should have gone the other way? What does the note say?
I am beaten, left to rot among the ruins of the past. There are others here, slaves, bandits and cannibals, exiles from lands I've never heard of. Some of them try to scrape a life from the wasteland, scrabbling in the rocks and sand for their own place. I cannot go on. The life that I left behind haunts me. The sun over the glittering spires of Belverus has forever denied me. The smell of my daughter's hair. I will pass the ghost fence, and this cursed land will finally end me. To whoever reads this note, I leave the last of my water and this message. Stranger, you have my pity. You do not know how cursed you truly are.
I let the note go in the wind as I stare expressionless into the void. There is no escape. I was right to panic. This is it. I sat there numb and miserable for what felt like forever, trying to grasp the hopelessness of my situation. Follow the road, they say. I might as well. I will die sooner than later here anyway. Don't have much to lose. I'm so done with the suffering. Happen what may, I will go. Maybe if I somehow get to the city, I might be better off even as a slave, if I ever get there. The sun isn't set, but the noon's heat is surely gone. I accept my fate, crawling out of my safety corner, leaving my entire life in the hands of Lady Luck.